I was born here, and I remember my father would bring me to the workshop when I was just a baby. I used to watch him work. But he's not very well now, so I've taken over and I run the workshop now.
Every dagger that comes out of this workshop is unique, custom-made to feature its future owner's chosen motifs.
This kind of dagger has been a part of Arab culture for a very long time. All Arabs used to carry daggers, but they took different forms. For instance, a Yemeni dagger is big and straight, while other ones are curved. It all depends where they're made. In Saudi Arabia, they have big, very curved daggers. In Syria, they're different again. It depends on the country. The Omani dagger has a very recognizable form.
I admire this solid silver piece that's worthy of a jeweler. I watch a really valuable object take shape halfway between jewelry and embroidery.
We call the cane al-bakur. Like the dagger, it's an accessory you carry to look distinguished on less important occasions than ones you'd wear the dagger for.
Like the khanjar, this cane is carried by Omanis to look elegant and respectable, in the same way Westerners would wear a tie. It calls to my mind the Bedouin I met in the desert, who used his stick for emphasis.
Older people use it as a walking stick too. When you go to a funeral, for example, you don't wear a dagger, you just take your cane. Of course, every Omani would like to have his own dagger rather than borrow one or rent it, but not everyone can afford one. It's a valuable thing, you know, something you leave to your children.
Our Western society, with its love of materialism, tends paradoxically to forget the true value of objects. Here, when you pass down a dagger, you're handing on a part of your cultural heritage. I understand now why it's on the flag, and I think back to the start of my journey and to the market at Sinau. I remember the men with their dagger in their belt and a cane in their hand. resume my exploration of the streets and come across a particularly lively spot, where a few chairs and a table are enough to create a gambling den. In Islamic countries, and indeed in the whole of Arab culture, men and women have clearly defined roles, especially when it comes to public life. Schools, for example, start off mixed, but by the age of 8, boys and girls are split into different establishments. You see more men out in the streets, but the women, although they might be hidden away, are omnipresent in Arab society. There are even places like the amazing market at Ibra that I came across out in the desert that are just for them. I'll never forget the vibrant atmosphere, those stalls crammed with all the fabrics and all the makeup accessories for their eyes and their hands. And I remember how the men had to hang back outside the market and let the women haggle and deal among themselves. But kindness, respect, and genuine curiosity are generally enough to dissolve barriers and open the doors of many sanctuaries. So some women are happy to offer a glimpse of their private life and invite me to discover the art of four-handed embroidery.
I started weaving when I was 15 or 20. I learned from the older women, from my mother and my aunts. It takes 5 or 10 days to make a whole dress, but you can do it in 3 if you don't do anything else.
I'm impressed by the ease and simplicity with which they work. A suri made with such care and attention is surely the equal of anything by the great houses of haute couture.
These dresses originated in Kuwait and were always known as the Kuwaiti style, but now we make them in suri. The fabric still comes from Kuwait, though. The embroidered motifs are from suri, but then the Indian dressmakers started copying them and producing machine-made dresses. But originally, they were handmade product by the women here.
The women invite each other around and get together in groups to share domestic chores. I leave the seamstresses to finish their dress and join some other women in the next room who are preparing for a wedding. We do henna tattoos for different occasions, usually for weddings or for going to parties. The designs have no particular significance. It depends on who's doing them. Sometimes, for a bride, for example, they can go right up the arm, while for a young girl, they're just on the back of the hand. Whatever you want, really. These henna designs are a part of our culture, so young girls learn to do them very early on. But they also have to wear the traditional robe, the suri. Girls absolutely have to know all that. The henna dries in the air and will fall off by itself after a few minutes, leaving behind on the skin delicate orangey brown arabesques.